Hey y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm Liz.
I'm Carolyn.
And you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as TooLizForYou, TOOLIZZFORYOU.
And I'm CPREDMOR on Ravelry, and I have been posting as Knitting in Our Jeans, and I posted a couple times this week, and I'll show you a little bit of what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Full disclosure, have not been doing much knitting. My new bosses started, so Monday was full of trepidation, and you can't tell in this light, but my hair is purple again, because fresh start. Why don't we start fresh and make sure that we start with purple? Oh, you can kind of see it because I don't have my white patch.
Right.
I have a purple patch.
You have a purple patch.
But yeah, so that, and then Wednesday was a beautiful night, so we went out to dinner and then hung out for a while, just sitting outside.
Nice.
And that was nice.
That's nice. Nan update.
Oh,
I called my mother. She's full of vinegar and you know what else.
Salt?
Salt. Well,
salt. She's salty.
Very salty.
She's salty.
When she's angry. And she gets angry when she remembers being on the nursing floor. So she gets on the phone and she goes, I'm telling you, I never want to go back there. And I said, well, then don't fall down. Because Rick and I have no control over where they want to nurse you. She said, well, I'm fine where I am. I said, well, that's excellent, Mom.
I'm happy
to
hear that.
She has a daily aide, and she loves being back in her own little apartment, which is a step better than it was a year ago when she wanted to be back in the condo. So, yes, as Richard says, she really just wants to be one step better than she is. But I do understand it. At least in her apartment, she has her stuff. She has her dining room table. She has her credenza with her china, crystal, and silverware. I think her silverware is still there. Who knows where it is? If it's not there, then my brother has it, but I think it's in some of the drawers. So she can sit there and look at her stuff. I got that. And the nursing floor is just a really generic floor. So she seems to be doing fine, and if you talk to her, she's doing really well. I'm not sure she gets around by herself at all, but, you know, she's happy, so we're going with it.
Yeah.
Yes. So, what have I finally done? I finally put a picture on the cable hat pattern, and I bought a head.
Yay!
Look at that! I love it. So this is the hat with an Amazon bought fuzzy pom-pom. It's not as good as what I would have gotten locally, but I wanted to get the pictures out and done. I will probably go to one of our local yarn stores and get a better pom-pom. But it's a little puny. It's a little puny, yes, but you know when you're looking for photos, that works. So we now have that photo done. I did send the copy of the pattern to our test knitter, and I think we're going to be sending this off to Asylum Fiber this week.
Nice.
Since Asylum Fiber is the yarn that I used in the making of the hat and the cowl. So I will get in touch with Stephanie about that. So I'm excited about that. Tuesday, I'm supposed to have my meeting with Gosadi.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. In the meantime, we have a cohort in crime who is creating our own website. And
I called him your collaborator.
It's the same thing.
Yes, but I just... yes.
Yes. So, I mean, I used to do websites, not for a living, but because everybody was doing websites, and I used to be able to code. And as I was explaining, that once we got into cascading style sheets, I lost it. Just lost. Dyslexia strikes again. So, anyway, I've also cleared off our dining room table from the quilting stuff that we got from one of the ladies in a assisted living facility near our church. And I'm going to ask you, because I actually think doing a back stitch rather than that running stitch would make a really nice, because it would outline, a back stitch would outline everything in the quilted pattern rather than just the up and down.
Where? What are we?
If you take the thing that's in the frame, that sailboat that's in the frame, I think I'd rather do a back stitch rather than a running stitch. Traditionally, it's done with a running stitch.
Okay, yes. Sorry.
But I think a back stitch...
I can't grab it out right now without causing some
back
havoc.
stitch means it on the front, it looks, on the front and the back, it looks continual.
So, to explain, it is a printed panel that then you quilt to create the definition on.
The stuff that we got from her.
Yeah,
the thing that I'm working on, kind of off and on, but again, my hand, I couldn't knit much this week at all because my hand hurt. But it's getting better, so I'm thinking I will be able to knit this week. As I said, I worked on the cable hat pattern, and if you saw our Instagram, I was deconstructing a jacket. I had a St. John's knit jacket that is, we think, somewhere between 12 and 14 years old. And it's this. This is one of the side panels. This is obviously, it's a princess seam, and this is the panel. Anyway, it developed holes. It was like becoming moth-eaten, which I don't understand because I think it's primarily polyester. So, and I didn't know what the fabric was. And I think we all know that Joann's has been going through some problems, so I really wasn't sure that if I took it over to Joann's, they would know what kind of fabric it was. So I got an email from Mood, because of course one does, and they were talking about Ponji. Ponti. Why do I keep saying Ponji?
I don't know.
I want to say Ponji.
But anyway. I do need to now go through all of our Instagrams and edit that.
Yes. So anyway, they had this and this, which this is not even close. This is closer to that than this is. So what I've done is I have taken apart. It's Ponti.
It's Ponti.
And I think it's a polyester. It doesn't say. It did say that it was supposed to be dry clean only, and I went, the heck with that. So this has been through the washer and the dryer. It went through the dryer for an hour on low and really wasn't quite dry. So I'd done a load of sheets, and so I put the wet sheets in with the semi-wet Ponti and put it on high, on bake, desert bake, and it came out just fine. So now my jacket will be able to be washed on delicate and then put in the dryer at any speed, and I should be fine. So I am going to get out my serger. Now, I have not used my serger in probably a decade, maybe longer. I'm a little upset at Joann Fabric because I went over to get some thread, and I had to get I wanted 4 spools for my serger. They didn't have 4 spools in any one color. It was amazing. So I have 4 spools, one number apart. So like 643, 644, 645, 646. And I'll use the serger for edging, for doing a machine stitch all around the edges of all the pattern pieces, except for the flounce. And the flounce, I think, can be its own hem, or I may turn it over like 1/8 of an inch and do maybe I'll do a rolled hem, which is a possibility. So I've cut the jacket all apart. I've taken pictures at every step so I can get it back together. And now I've started cutting out on the dining room table, which is why I had to clean the quilted stuff off the dining room table. So there are pictures up on Instagram of it being...
And now it's properly labeled as Ponti.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I should have it cut out by tomorrow, and
I just looked it up. It's a 62% rayon, 32% nylon, and 6% spandex Ponti.
So it's all fake.
It's all chemical, yes.
So I don't see any reason. Rayon, I understand they do like to say dry clean that, but it was fine. And considering my lifestyle, which is wash and wear, that's the way it's going. So I think what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to work on my jacket. I'd like to get this jacket started and finished this week. That would be nice. Because the other thing I got another little email missive from Mood. They had some stretched denim, black stretched denim. And coming out of physical therapy, or going into physical therapy, I met a woman who was coming out of physical therapy, Robin. And she had on this really delightful, almost like baby doll looking denim dress. So it had a yoke and it had the sleeves that came down to about here, and then the yoke came down to about here, and then it slightly larger layers. I thought it was adorable. And I'm very big on these dresses you just throw on over your head and go. And that's exactly what that was. So I now have 10 yards of denim that have been through the washer and the dryer. And I have a couple dress patterns that I was thinking of. And in fact, that golden rule, there was a dress in there that I might try.
Okay.
So I might actually use that golden rule packet of how to cut out your own pattern for the first time in 3 years.
That's the one that's made for you, or it's the measurement
That's
based
the
one?
special measurement based
Okay.
one. And so all the patterns come in this little tiny book, and it has its own very special measuring rule. And depending on the size you are, it tells you where to lay out your pattern. And what the heck? This way I can get a waist that fits my waist and hips that fit my hips, and I'm not, trying to figure out from the pattern just how much extra do I have to add on. We shall see. Watch this space. I also want to, I actually cast on for the hooded cowl, the lace hooded cowl, and didn't get much everywhere with it. We've been having car problems. Not problems. Semi-problems.
Car problems or heart problems?
Car problems.
Okay. Sorry, I misheard you, and I wanted to clarify in case others misheard you as well.
Car problems. I needed my car inspected, as did Richard. So first my car went in, and then I got a call from Lizz, and car's ready. However,
oh no,
we've noticed there's a little leak from the power steering, and before it gets to be a big thing, I think we ought to get it fixed. Or you can get a new car. Okay. So how much is that going to be? I don't know. I'll look it up. Okay. So we went to pick up my car, dropped off Rich's car to be inspected, and it was $1,300. And I said, fine. I think my limit is $5,000. So if something on my car is going to cost $5,000, I'm going to get a new car. The car's 17 years old. No, I mean, I love it because it runs well. And no one wants to steal it. No one's going to go, oh, that's the car I want. The paint is peeling off the bumpers. They're plastic bumpers, and the plastic covering is peeling off the bumpers just from sheer old age.
Oh, I was going to say, I mean, mine got hit with some tree sap, and, like, it's taken the finish off the...
This is just old age. It's like getting wrinkles, and it's cracking. Aww. So it's like, whatever, sweetie. But it runs pretty well. I was a little concerned about how it was running over the roads. So I asked them to check my tires and the alignment to see whether it was Long Island roads or my car. It's Long Island roads.
I could have told you.
So I feel better.
Well, I was gonna say, did you feel it on the GCP coming and going to my place? Is that where?
All over, because I'm running up.
Because also, there's a real bad spot, and now they're like working on it, so it's even worse before it's gonna get better. On the Grand Central. Between, like, Clearview, but if you're coming this way, between Clearview and the one after Cross Island, so, like, Little Neck, and then on the Little Neck to Clearview. It's just, like, and it's been bad for a while.
I'm running up to Port Washington all the time for physical therapy and stuff like that, so I just noticed in my travels that things were running a little rugged. And I wanted to make sure that it was the road and not my car.
Right.
Because I'd rather not have to call AAA. Anyway, so my car is now back in the shop. When we went to pick up Richard's from being inspected, we dropped mine off again to get the rack and pinion fixed. Replaced something.
The power steering?
He said rack and pinion.
Oh, okay.
So it's something with the rack and pinion. There's oil or some kind of lubricating fluid in the rack and pinion that it was starting to leak. And I agree with him. Before it becomes a flood someplace, it would be like losing the water pump. Like, no, we don't want to do that. So we're getting that fixed. And so it's been a busy, I've been going back and forth to the car service guy a lot, which is fine. He's a family friend, but just time that you can't do knitting or sewing.
Yeah.
You know, because I like to sit down and concentrate. And the hooded cowl is a lacy cowl. So, and I haven't knit that in a while. I mean, when I was knitting 3 and 4 a week, I knew the pattern like the back of my hand. Well, I don't know the pattern like the back of my hand anymore, so I need to sit with my chart in order to do that. I think I've gotten the width I want.
Okay.
So I know how many stitches need to be cast on. And then I will work from there as to, you know, where to expand for the hood, how many stitches to expand for the hood. And I have to decide whether I think I'll start with a simple one. And then maybe have a second, more advanced pattern. Okay. Because I could expand it so that there's a whole nother pattern that gets involved in it. It would be a different pattern because I only was expanding it by 14 stitches rather than the full 20. Anyway, we'll see. Watch the space on that too. So I do think that I'll work on that. And then, of course, I mentioned Christmas presents, but there's also birthday presents for the little ones.
Yeah.
So I need to think about that. That may be a good place to start one of these sweaters. So many possibilities. My hand is getting better, so I have the chance of getting something done, which is good. Now, my dear, you were just waiting for me to finish? Oh, that looks terrible. Okay, forget that.
You okay there? You haven't had dessert yet, and you're like hyped.
It's Happy Father's Day, so Happy Father's Day to everybody. This is, I think, what happens when I get maple bacon.
Oh, maybe.
Maple bacon.
Yeah, maple bacon.
I cook up maple bacon to put in the baked beans. And then, rather than just have maple bacon left over, we had maple bacon for snacks.
Yes, we had maple bacon.
I only had a rasher.
I had a rasher and a half.
Okay, so, but then I did have some of the beans with some of the bacon. I don't know.
You're
I've
just
been
hyped. It's very fun.
Well, I actually got some sleep. I didn't go to church.
That could be it. Yeah.
Because I went to bed with a headache, woke up at 8 with a headache, and I went, this is not going well. So turned off the alarm, I went back to bed, got up at 11:30. That was lovely. So I've had sleep. And my pattern is going really well. Yeah. So all is good. Yes, my dear. Now about you.
I have not been working on all that much. Right now I am working on trying to get to, I think I'm going to try and get to 3 repeats of the sleeve, because I think that'll be long enough.
Nice.
I think I'm going to finish the third, I'm going to try and finish the 3rd repeat here, and then try it on.
Okay. It looks long.
Because it looks
about right.
Looks about right. I mean,
close. You're within 2 inches.
Yeah, and I'm on, this is row 34 of 48, and it's a lace pattern, so.
It'll expand.
Yeah, so, and then that'll give me, because the sleeves are supposed to be kind of balloony, you know, they're not, they're kind of bishop-y, balloony.
And there's a cuff?
Yes.
On top of the pattern?
Yes.
I think that'll be fine.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to do that, and then, but I'm not going to put the cuff on until I get both sleeves to the same spot.
The same spot, because you don't.
Because I just want to make sure that I do not run out.
Sure, makes sense.
So the other sleeve is only 1 pattern in, which is fine. In about an evening, I can do about 20 to 30 rows. I can't really get the full 48 done in a night. But I think that's just because there's not a lot of circumference, but because I have to keep moving.
Magic circle, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think knitting it on smaller circumference needles would make me any faster, though.
Hard to say. I did for the hat. I got a bunch of really small circumference needles, and that was really helpful with the hat. I go through fits and starts about whether small circumference needles are helpful. At one point, I did everything with double pointed needles. I can't imagine that now.
Yeah.
So anything else?
I finished the drawers on my organization.
Oh, very good.
So I was able to start packing away some things in that, which was very exciting.
That is exciting.
So then
Have you found anything more? Like I found the legs for the camera?
No, what did I didn't really know, because I found the yarn I was looking for last week. I'm still missing one skein of the yarn that I was working on at Thanksgiving. The sweater I was working on at Thanksgiving. I don't know where it is, but maybe it'll show up.
I'm
also
sure.
as I continue to undo it.
If you were working on it Thanksgiving, that it made the transition to the apartment.
It did. No, I know it's in this apartment.
Okay.
So I just don't know if maybe somewhere along the way I don't know. So I haven't picked it back up because I'm trying to get the, one whip a month kind of thing keeping going. So, and as we all know, I have failed. I failed in May to finish a whip, so we are trying to get this sweater done so it counts
as a whip finish.
As a whip finish for June, and then maybe I'll finish and the other thing, and
that would be good.
Yeah.
Well, I keep just adding things on that I need to do, like the Christmas and birthday presents. So,
yeah.
I have sent away and received a few of the sweater and patterning books. So I've now gotten one on top-down sweaters. I've gotten another one on easy sweater patterns. I think I want to look at Elizabeth Zimmerman's easy, baby sweater.
The baby surprise?
The baby surprise. Because I'm thinking you could put different pattern
in it?
A different pattern in it, and it might work. And I'd have to find out what you'd have to do in order to use that idea.
Yeah.
But I think that would be really interesting. Or maybe if I make something different in how the sleeve goes together, that makes it a whole different.
I would reach out and make sure.
Okay, but I have to figure it out.
Yeah,
first.
Figure it out, and then we can figure out the other part. Yeah. Because I just.
No, we don't want to upset anybody.
Yeah, and I don't want you accidentally, either accidentally stepping on some toes or...
I certainly don't want to step on Meg
accidentally,
Swanson's toes.
yeah.
So anyway, that's the story. I have been documenting what's going on around here on Instagram, so that's good. I'll keep my fingers crossed for Gosadi, and if it comes off, we'll tell you about it next weekend. I plan to get in touch with Stephanie this week because I've gotten the photos up for the hat, and I took 3 different sides of the hat. I guess I could put those photos in. Yeah. I'll have to edit the pattern again tomorrow or tonight. Anyway, we're doing well. Anything else?
No, I'm just trucking along. I know we've had a bunch of short episodes recently, and that's, primarily because Mom's hurt her hand, and I'm, being pretty monogamous. But that's also just, sometimes that happens.
Sometimes it happens. And for me, it's because of my hand. And I don't take you all to film what's going on at physical therapy. It was so funny at physical therapy. Sorry. As you all know, I'm in my 70s, early 70s, and we've decided that the physical therapy place is my social club, where you go and hang out with your bros. Anyway, one of the ladies was leaving, and she says, you really need a putting green outside. And one of the physical therapist assistants, Ruthie, says, yeah, I could go for that. And I said, we could also have yoga mats outside, and we can do some of these exercises outside. And Ruthie goes, yeah, I could go with that. I said, then we could get a trampoline outside. And Ruthie says, yeah, I'll go with that. I said, then we'll have Ruthie show us what we're supposed to be doing on these apparatus, and then we'll have me show you what is actually going on. Ruthie and I fell on the floor. came by and says, "Do you need oxygen?" So no, I said, no, I don't need oxygen. I said, but, and of course, everybody around us is also having laughing fits because it's quite obvious that, I mean, we had to adapt some of the arm exercises with the weights because of my hand. And the joke was I couldn't figure out which foot to put forward when you're doing some kind of leaning down thing. And I said, I'm dyslexic. I don't understand these things. I said, is it the foot opposite the arm? She goes, yes. I said, got it. So anyway, I have a good time, which is why it's my social club. Yes, they've been short sessions, but, you know, hopefully we'll be able to pick it up as my hand gets better. I'm really looking forward to it. I also have needlework that I'd like to be working on. That poor Christmas angel has never gotten finished. And then, of course, there's the Bayeux tapestry that's crying out to me. I can hear it. I can hear it calling. But my shelves are looking much better. Yes. And amazingly enough, all the stuff from downstairs is now in those shelves. So we have managed a little bit more organization. So that's good. Anyway, with that, we're wishing everybody a happy Father's Day. Yes. And we plan to see you soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
See you later, y'all.